Across New Zealand, Airbnb is having a major impact on the housing market. And in some areas, it's really biting into what's left for locals. Queenstown is one of the biggest hotspots, nearly 2,900 active listings, and almost 90% of those are entire homes, mostly 2 or 3 bedroom places that would otherwise be ideal for families. Canterbury isn't far behind. The region has more than 5,400 Airbnb listings. One such place is Methven, located near the western edge of the Canterbury Plains, with a relaxed lifestyle and ski resort, Mount Hutt, on its doorstep. It is popular and it's feeling the pressure as holiday rentals move into residential zones. One local resident is warning the council that Airbnb landlords are turning neighbourhoods into quasi-commercial hubs. So listing 3 out of the 15 homes in his new Camrose subdivision, plus paying residential rates, not commercial fees. And with nearly 290 Airbnb listings in mid-Canterbury alone, he says epidemic levels of short-term rentals are on the rise and our councils scrambling to catch up. So let's chat to my guest. He joins me now, Paul Dixey. Paul, how are you?
Good afternoon, Leah. Fine, thanks.
Paul, I just want to make sure. I had you down as Paul Dixley. I've got to get names right. You Dixey or Dixley?
It's Dixey.
Good on you. Thank you. Done.
Yep.
Paul, all right. Okay, so you're in this new subdivision, yes, and you say the 3 out of the 15 are Airbnbs, 20%, let's say. That doesn't seem like too much to me, Paul.
Well, it doesn't at the moment, but it's increasing. And look, firstly, Leah, it's not. We're not against the Airbnbs as such.
Right.
If they're run under the current residential C zoning, which the council says is a maximum of 5 people, and that's fine. We've got no problem with that. But we've just got one doorway from us that's just applied for 11 people. Now, there's one across the road, which is now advertising illegally 11 people as well. It's a maximum per night. So there's nothing stopping, as I spoke to the council, there's nothing stopping people applying for and the whole district could become just Airbnbs. And although they say it's on a case-by-case basis, if they allow this one just down the road from us to get its consent, then I can't see how they're going to stop anybody else doing the same thing.
Yeah, right. So, Paul, is there any of your other neighbours around you as concerned as you are?
Well, we weren't consulted for a start. We're one door away from this one that's applying for 11 people, but the people directly behind it brought the consultation papers over, which there was probably about 15 pages of. But the council are cherry-picking who they think is affected. Now, they call it limited consultation. They've only talked to the neighbours either side and the ones at the back, and the ones at the back are the ones that are most affected, and they are very anti it. The people across the road, there's 2 places across the road that are directly affected too by privacy issues and parking, not to mention any noise that could come. So I think the council are being very selective in who they actually want to consult on this. We've actually fired a consultation in, and they've said, well, you can do what you like, but we're not going to listen to it. So,
Okay.
great big ratepayer in mid-Canterbury.
Yeah. Because Paul, you fall under the Ashburton District Council, don't you? And each council can have their own rules. Is that correct? Around the country, they look at it differently and apply rules to what they want.
Yes.
Yeah. But how do you feel then that these people are paying residential rates, but basically they're running a business?
Well, they're virtually running accommodation houses if they're running 11 people at any one time. And, they're competing against the poor commercial guy who's paying commercial rates plus paying a toilet tax, and they're getting an unfair advantage. Look, that's not the main ruling with me or the main concern. No. It's the concern of the number of people that will come into a little one exit or no exit street, which we are. There's only about 15 houses in it. So, I can understand that. Yeah, if they're applying, but 2 houses want 11 people in a house, you will end up being a bit of a party neighbourhood, one would imagine. We had a case. we had a case with one that's 3 doors down, and this is the one that was advertising up to 11 guests and didn't have consent to do so. The neighbours rang us with concerns. They counted 19 young guys going in there. This is not that long ago. 7 vehicles. So they rang the property manager, who only lives about 500 metres away. They came down and they evicted the overflow of numbers.
Mm.
And as soon as she was gone, they all just parked around the corner and they all came back again. So, you know, there's no control over it if there's nobody actually living on site.
Mm. Do you know, Paul, in Methven, if there's also what the rent is like? Are there people, you know, really struggling, locals, people that work in Methven and live there or around there that are trying to get rentals? Is there an issue yet?
Yes, there is a real shortage of rental properties for locals, but it's also very hard on anyone who comes here to work in the ski field.
Yeah.
They struggle to get accommodation, big time.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Some say Airbnbs help bring tourism and money into the town, so it's a kind of a catch-22, Paul. What would you say to that? Because it's helping the economy, probably.
Well, it's helping somebody's economy, and it's probably the people that own the Airbnb.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's 2 ways of looking at it. But the thing that, Leah, I think the councils are running a 2 system or 2 sets of rules here. Yeah. When you build a property, it's your biggest investment. You're guided by what the council give you as zoning regulations.
Yep.
And that's what they enforce all these regulations on you. And that's fine. So you build like that. Then you find 5 minutes later, there's a property down the road that all of a sudden has gone for through the Resource Management Act to change the designation of their property. And the council say, oh, yes, well, that's the Resource Management Act. We can't do anything about that. So obviously their zoning rules aren't worth the paper they're written on, or they're just a waste of time because they can just be overridden.
So, Paul, in a nutshell, you would like to see the council to actually abide by regulation to really stamp out houses that are going to have 12 to 15 people in them.